Radical Cup North America fans, welcome to Wine Country. It's time for Sonoma Raceway to hold the second round of the 2026 season. My name is Tom Drewer, and alongside me is Mike Anzaldi. Once again, thank you, Mike, for joining us over on the West Coast.
Privileged to be in the box with you, especially here in Sonoma. Never going to miss a chance to come out to Wine Country, Tom.
Yeah, well, as you can see, what were typically very, very dry hills around Sonoma are extremely green at the moment. It's a stunning view, but as you can see, up in Northern California, just north of the great city of San Francisco, is this wonderful 2.5-mile racetrack. Some very tricky corners indeed to negotiate. We've seen some fantastic battles over the years, up past Turn 1 and into Turn 3. Quite a technical section down near the S's in Turn 8. Turn 10 causing all sorts of commotion yesterday, and in fact we're already seeing some action here as the cars just negotiate their first sighting lap. But some rivers across the racetrack, and we'll get to that in a moment. And then the treacherous Turn 11 with the walls so close on the exit. But Mike Anzaldi, the big news this weekend is the weather. Rain has persisted, and after some sunny days of warm-up in terms of the setup here, actually unloading the cars, it's been wet and treacherous, and it is again this morning.
Yeah, it's about a day and a half of action here in the Radical Cup, starting yesterday with 4 practice sessions, 2 test sessions in the morning, 2 free practice official sessions in the afternoon, and none of them were really dry until we got till deep into the afternoon. And so, yeah, this morning, as we come back and qualify, wet pavement.
Yeah, rain overnight. The skies have not unleashed much moisture this morning, but it's extremely cool conditions. You can see how dark the tarmac is from the vision, and already some drivers just finding it difficult around the chicane that we mentioned before Turn 10, which does have a little bit of a river. It just appears that the moisture just seeps back onto the racetrack, and that was really difficult. The cars aquaplaning in the opening session yesterday morning. I guess some news out of yesterday, Wayne Williams almost instantly having quite a significant impact. He was okay, but some work to do for the One Motorsports team early on. Another one to find the wall was Valen Venkatesh. He was actually quite quick in a couple of the sessions yesterday, but young Valen, one of the Cameron Racing Radical Northwest drivers, quick but did find the wall. We had Sam McDougall, another Californian, made a huge mark in the championship at Sebring, and obviously we expect big things from Sam at Sam's hometown race here, racing alongside his father for the first time as well. So Sam and Richard McDougall, and it's nice to see the Australian flag on an M plate. But Sam also, just in the final stages of yesterday's practice, finding the tyre bundles into this Turn 11 complex, and you can see how close the tyres are, and wait for this wall on the exit. It's very, very low, and it comes up very, very quickly, and if you just put the power down in those wet conditions, you can easily find that outside wall.
Oh, man, do I know about that outside wall. 2022, myself and Austin Riley had a meeting into that wall in our first race here at the ultimate race of 2022, and so yeah, I absolutely echo your sentiments there, Tom. Turn 11, that wall on the exit left side comes quick.
Yeah, and it can really catch out if you're dueling with someone. You've got to ensure that the person that's on the inside of the racetrack doesn't creep out as they exit the corner, which is a pretty natural thing to do. And perhaps if you're an elbows out racer, you do that a little bit more naturally than you should. But you've got to give people the space on the outside there through the final corner here at Sonoma Raceway. This circuit has been the home of so many battles. You mentioned a fantastic one between yourself and Austin Riley for the Pro 1340 Championship. Came right down to the wire. Spectacular season that you guys ended up with. And then, of course, the last time we were here, another fantastic battle in Pro 1340 between Suelio Almeida and Chris McMurray with a couple of ringers that Chris brought in, some pro drivers from Europe nonetheless, and Suelio Almeida seemed to overcome every bit of adversity.
Yeah, that was a bit of a competition there that raised some eyebrows and definitely had people tuning into their YouTube channels there. Everybody really enjoyed the ultimate round there of the 2025.
I was going to mention that quickly as we're waiting for some more indicative times to come through, and that was that check out Suelio Almeida's YouTube channel. You can find that final race and him becoming champion. Again, overcoming some stiff competition. The other big news the last time we were here was that fire of Jordan Missig's, the car having a rare engine failure, and in practice almost ruling out the championship title contender. And of course Missig winning the championship, going on to Indy next and having a fantastic result at Barber just a few weeks ago.
He really did. That was a great weekend for Jordan. I think he qualified somewhere in the top 10, maybe P8, P6, finished P8, and that is a really strong weekend for our friend Jordan Missig. He was a 2025 champion in a Radical Cup.
So now Luke Kendall, who's been the star certainly in Pro 1500, early in the test sessions, Luke Kendall very comfortable in these conditions, and he has set the first of what we expect will be a number of times tumbling as this track dries out a little bit. The drivers just come more accustomed to the grip level that they've got underneath them. A 156.4, everyone else circulating well into the 2 minutes. So Luke Kendall has found some confidence. He certainly showed that yesterday. Look out, I suspect Jonas Axpo will be coming back with a vengeance once he finds his feet underneath him. Robert Rossi, the man who's returned to the championship in the Platinum class. Robert Rossi with a long hiatus, out of the championship for a couple of years, returned with a vengeance at Sebring, leads the championship and is fastest in SR10.
He had a really nice Sebring weekend, a couple of wins, and in that third race there was an opportunity that he thought that was a little bit more reasonable than actual reality. He put it off early in the third race, and so he didn't quite finish that one, but otherwise a really strong comeback weekend for Robert Rossi. Back to the series. It's really good to have him here. He's in the SR10 and he leads that class at the moment. Wayne Williams, his closest competitor right now, is in a P8 overall, about 6 or 7 seconds back.
Yeah, so the One Motorsports guys, Wayne Williams, Chip Romer with some work to do. Chip admitted yesterday that he didn't feel super comfortable in the wet. A bloke from Arizona doesn't get to experience the rain too much.
He lives in the desert, doesn't he?
So, and the other one that I thought was impressive again, Chris Hoon continues his meteoric rise in terms of his personal performances, and indeed he came away with 3 wins at Sebring, and Chris was spectacular in the wet as well. The 53, mature in age, not with a whole lot of race experience under the belt, but extremely mature with the way that he goes about his motorsport, and has been very impressive with his speed.
I think he's been thinking about it a lot over the winter time and probably doing a little bit of sim time, and he has definitely come back to the Radical Cup in 2026. After a debut season in 25, he's come back stronger, and he is currently the head of the class there in the blue-winged
gold class.
Yeah, the gold class.
So, yes, and speaking of gold, we've got a number of competitors joining this weekend. Big shout out to a couple of locals. We mentioned Richard McDougall, but also Joe Nuxall returns to the championship, and Joe, a long-time Radical owner out here in California, and Joe just so excited to be back on track with the Pro Series as we ride on board now with Josh Holtz from the Crown Racing team in Arizona and based at Apex Motor Club.
I've been watching very closely on track out of the commentary booth. I've been watching Wayne Williams. It looks like a little bit of an incident where a minor off at the chicane there just before turn 11 there, right around turn 10. But I've been watching the two cars. Wayne Williams and Sam McDougall are circulating the track in the same area. They're not in the same types of cars, right? Williams is in that SR10, but McDougall can't get around him. And right now they're putting down the same time.
Yeah, and that's the trick with multi-class racing, as the yellow flag is flying. Can't quite see where that is at the moment, but we do have a yellow flag out on the circuit according to the timing screen.
Conditions are changing here. It's worth noting that the pavement isn't, let's call it 100% wet. We do have a couple of cars out there that are circulating on slick tires. At the moment, you got Josh Holtz out there in the Pro 1500 class, and you have Declan Dianery in the Pro 1340 class. We did just go red flag for this session.
And this is what we were talking about before the start of the broadcast. Mike and I just mentioning that this is the risk for any of those drivers, unlike Luke Kendall, who's really set a proper indicative time, a 1:53.2. Everyone else hasn't really managed to bank a lap in these opening couple of minutes, and now we're red flag.
We're red flag, and we only have 8 minutes to go in this session, right? This isn't an extended session for Radical Cup. The qualifying usually about 20 to 25 minutes. So really, we're down to 8 minutes.
Chip Roma is stuck on top of the hill at Sonoma. So Chip Roma just trying to get that number 5 car refired, but he's facing the wrong way, as we can see. And Chip Roma trying to exit stage left.
Is that the entry to the carousel there at 6?
And now he's reversing back onto the...
Oh, don't hit your wing. I think the wing's already done anyways, but...
Yeah, I think just maybe just trying to get out of the...
All right.
So, Chip getting going again. That will be good news for those drivers that are trundling back around to the pit lane. Now, as you mentioned, only 7 minutes remain. Everyone else negotiating the circuit, but we've still got cars up at the top. Of course, we're not going to get this session going again until they land in their boxes. So the team radio will be a flurry of messages to the drivers saying, look, you've got to use caution, but you've got to hustle back into the pit lane, into your box. We've only got 7 minutes remaining. It'll be 1 or 2 laps is all these guys are going to get. And at the moment, Luke Kendall has absolutely stunned everyone with a 1:53.2. Jonas Axbo only managing a 1:59. Everyone else in the 2 minutes. Robert Rossi, as you mentioned, setting the pace in the Platinum class.
Not by much, is it? Not by much.
Yeah, Wayne Williams did manage to get in a bit of a lap there right before we went red. And then Matt Roma impressing, as well as Sam McDougall, the local in Pro 1500. Phelan Venkatesh, another local that's using all of that knowledge to full effect this weekend. Although Valen did mention that he hasn't actually done much running at Sonoma recently. In fact, Sebring was the first time he'd been in a car for about 4 months or so. So certainly Valen looking strong this weekend.
Jack Yang, I'm looking at him down in overall P9, running P6 in his class there in the Pro 1500 class. I looked for Jack here as we go green again to make his way up the order a little bit. He's going to certainly want to get past Valen. He'll have to deal with Romer, but yeah, some work to do for Jack at the moment. Josh Holtz again on slicks toward the back of the pack there, and Dianery also on slicks. At least I believe that he's on slicks. He's running that 2:15 time.
So we can see the emergency vehicles just getting back into place. No doubt Race Control will unleash the cars once again for a final flurry around this racetrack. It will be rather intense, I suspect.
There's some action going down in Sam McDougall's pit. Looks like those guys want to go on to slicks for their final run.
Right, so that's going to be a big test to the crew because they're going to have to do it quickly as 5 minutes remain. McDougall, who found the wall yesterday late in the day, is going to try and attempt to put slick tyres on the number 8 machine. Meanwhile, everyone else trundling out. That is Matt Roma son of Chip Romer, who caused that red flag. Matt Romer in the Michelob Ultra car, and you can see just still finding some confidence, certainly trying to create a gap perhaps as one of the Valor Racing cars, that's Jack Yang, goes past him. So Jack Yang, a former race winner in the Radical Cup, found success at Road America with Group A couple of years ago. And Jack Yang, what can he do in these conditions?
Plate, that's for sure. Jack's the one that's going to be really looking to put down a lap here. The rest of the field, I mean, certainly everybody's going to be putting down their best effort, but somebody like Kendall, Axpo, Rossi, they'll probably be tiptoeing around. And
not everywhere on the circuit, but you can just start to see a dry line. There's a little bit of drive pavement just creeping through this very slick surface. So who's brave? Who can just hold a couple of corners together and find a couple of tenths? It's all it's going to take. You can see the spray coming off the number 32 Tiger Beetle machine of Jonas Axpo. So there's plenty of water still to contend with around this circuit.
And what's great right now is Kendall, Axpo, Yang, and Romer are all circulating the track right behind each other.
So the lap starts now. Into your preparation into turn 11. Don't outbrake yourself. Just make sure you can carry the maximum momentum out onto this short front chute before the kink in what is the front straightaway. And the start of this lap, it's important to carry his maximum speed down in through turn 1 and up to turn 2 for the first time. So this is a flyer that Jonas Axpo is now on. He'll be gritting his teeth underneath that helmet, really, really pushing himself to maximum attack. And what can he do? With 5, nearly 6 seconds, he's got to find in terms of the lap time against Luke Kendall.
It's going to be an uphill battle for him. He's still in the front row at the moment unless Rossi is able to put down a lap here, and those two are only a few tenths apart. So really that's what Expo's looking at, is Robert Rossi for the most part.
And it's going to be a case of the classes intermingled well and truly. That could be interesting for race 1, particularly if it does stay damp. We do expect another shower to come through a little bit later this morning.
For sure. And right now you got Williams on the third row. If nothing changes here, Williams on the third row. Rossi just went underneath Dianery and across the on board Evan.
Yeah, and you can see how dark the skies are. There's just no sunshine really drying this racetrack out. Just ahead, I think that is McDougall, Richard McDougall in the 59 in the Golf liveried car.
And it looks like Kendall is hauling on this lap. He went purple in the second sector. He is just heading in toward turn 11 right now. Let's see if that 2:53.2 gets any better here in just a couple of moments' time.
Yeah, Luke Kendall with just a couple more meters to run before he passes the post. We're waiting for him to come around. And he goes through a 1:53.2, so found some tenths, but it wasn't maybe as much as we expected, as a 1:53.5 for Jonas Axpo, so it's game on with 1 minute. And Jack Yang's started to move up as well, so with 1 minute remaining on the clock and another lap for Jonas Axpo, it's game on. There's 3 tenths between them. In these conditions, that's absolutely nothing. That's a slight bobble, a little wobble, just a little moment on the racetrack, and we have a fight for pole position in Pro 1500.
Rossi, Tom, I go back to Rossi, where he and Dianery kind of came together as they went across the start-finish line.
Big moment.
It was in the way. It looked like Rossi was held up, and so
big moment for the 68 there. That was Evan Wolf in the Black Crown Concepts car. He just got sideways, putting on the power out of turn 11.
Williams just came across the line, so he has, with 14 seconds to go, he can do this lap, and Williams is going to be looking for some action here.
Well, you mentioned the time. This is crucial seconds for a couple of drivers. Another one, Robert Rossi, does pass the post. So the first person to get the checkered flag.
And so Rossi is on a flyer right now. He just improved to a 56.5.
Yeah, so it's Dion Oreen who hasn't really managed to capitalize on those dry tires. Dion Areen has only got a couple of laps in.
I just don't think that was ever going to happen in this session. There's not enough sun. There's not enough
It was
wind.
so predictable that we were going to have a moment, if not a red flag, some kind of yellow flag anyway.
But yeah, the last few moments here are actually pretty exciting. You got Matt Romer coming around. And
Joe Nuxall, we're just watching this gold class battle. So Joe Nuxall has finished his qualifying session, but he's within a tenth.
Within a tenth?
In fact, a few hundredths of a second of Chris Hoon. So that's an exciting battle. Dennis Kelly also right in there, and they're going to be line astern, lining up on the grid. So that's going to be fantastic for the gold class. Kendall has survived. The pole position is his, certainly in Pro 1500. It's only Wayne Williams and Robert Rossi who could eclipse him now, really. But Jonas Axpo put in a sterling effort. Kendall did actually improve a 152.1 on that final flyer.
As did Venkatesh.
Axpo didn't.
So Venkatesh moves up to now P6 overall. That puts Williams on the 4th row.
So Williams is coming past the line now. There he goes.
No improvement.
No improvement. Robert Rossi was circulating still and heading down into the final corner. So we'll wait and see what Robert Rossi can do. Can a platinum class car start from the pole? Robert Rossi passes the poster. No, he'll start from the 2nd row of the grid. He has secured pole position, so his run of points continues in the platinum class, and it is Luke Kendall who is on the provisional pole, the outright pole for race 4 of the championship from Sonoma Raceway later today. It's Luke Kendall from Jonas Axpo, Jack Yang, Sam McDougall and Valen Venkatesh, the top 5 in Pro 1500. The Platinum class, the high horsepower SR10s, finding it difficult to put down all of that horsepower with 380 foot-pound of torque. Probably not the most fun thing to try and squeeze on the throttle. Robert Rossi is the pole sitter there from Wayne Williams. Chip Romer, of course, had a moment. He'll start further back. And in the gold class, Chris Hoon continues his fantastic run of success. Another pole for him. Joe Nuxall impressing the local 2nd fastest from Dennis Kelly. Richard McDougall 4th in class. Dave Mason 5th. And then it's Pro 1340. Evan Wolf, congratulations to him. A sensible drive.
And a pole position. How
and
about
a pole
that?
position.
His
and
first.
And Declan Dionarine taking a big gamble. And
fair enough, right? Fair enough for the folks in the Dionarine camp. It's like, let's just go ahead and try it and put on the slicks and see if something can happen, but didn't work out this time.
Well, that wraps it up for qualifying of the Radical Cup North America Series here from Sonoma Raceway. We'll be back a little bit later on today for race 4, and of course 2 more races coming to you live tomorrow as well. We'll see you then.